it? Like, Vision is the largest affirming church on the planet. What do you think was the allure that has brought us to this point?
Well, one thing, pastors were hell bent on their members not coming. And the more it seemed like churches were against us, the more people came, the more people packed it out,
Hmm.
standing around the walls. Leadership stood around the walls many Sundays so that everyone could get a seat, or we could go stand out on the sidewalk, whatever worked to get the people in. People would come to see, and then they would never leave.
I mean, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, huh?
Sometimes you want to go where no one knows your name.
A lot of times I want to go where nobody knows my name. But okay. But Shanika, now, minister, I
How
want to
are
put some
you?
respect on your name.
Oh.
And so now you are not one of the original. I am not either. So what
Mm-hmm.
has Vision meant to you?
Oh, wow. This community has meant a lot to me. When I first visited back in 2015, it inspired me when Bishop came out with the horse in
A
the
lot of people
worship
don't know about that
service.
horse now.
He
Mhm.
came out there
He
in
got
that
swag
horse.
though.
Oh, my God. I said, I know he did. I said,
Yes, he
okay.
did.
I said, all right, Bishop. I said, I see you. And that night just blew my mind. So, especially with that horse. I mean, come on.
So you were looking for a leader with confidence. I remember my first time coming to Vision, and I had known First G. I knew Rashad from my work in public health, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I came one time, and it was Thursday. It was the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and you know, Thanksgiving service, you're supposed to be all thankful and oh my God, we ate so good and all the things, right? Bishop called everybody down. He said, "I want to talk to those who ain't thankful, who are hopeful, but don't know how to be thankful right now." But I walked it down, and First G sitting there with the smile, and I cried so hard on his shoulders. I thought I offered to pay for his dry cleaning with the money I ain't have after I cried so hard. And the idea that I was received in my vulnerability, I think that's what sealed the deal for me. That there was no shame, there was no pretense. I could just be myself, broken or not, whole or not. And, you know, First G was standing there with that big First G smile, as he always does, letting me cry my eyes out. I think they had to bring the sheet out. I think Deacon Respect stood over me for a little while, like, is he ever going to get up? It was a thing. It was a thing. And so now, because I'm really interested in this conversation, because Shanika, you came in 15. Pastor Rue, you came long before you were a pastor, when Bishop was a pastor, and
Absolutely.
and I think I'm even newer than that. And so, how do you think? What place do you think Vision holds in our culture? All of us identify somewhere in LGBT something, QIA plus somewhere, I believe. But what position do you think Vision holds in culture here in Atlanta or nationally? Pastor, I'll start with you.
Well, I think vision represents that place that allows people to be able to feel God and know that it's okay that God loves everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just people who are walking maybe the way that the old church might have taught them or their past church, but vision represents the place to come and realize that God loves us as we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. What about you, Shanika? What position do you think Vision holds in our culture?
There's no judgment.
Yeah.
Even when I first came and knowing my back history, they didn't judge me. This community didn't judge me. Vision is
A lot of us don't even know or care what your back history is. We just like glad you're here now.
right. But I feel that this community is just like I said, it's no judgment, and we're open, and this church is very open to all people.
Yeah.
So
I was interviewing Dwayne. Y'all know Dwayne, our shouting cameraman, right? And he said the most poignant thing that he said to me today, and he said some smart stuff because we talk in the headsets every Sunday, is he said, "I think this is what heaven looks like." Ain't that good?
that's real.
I think
That's
that
awesome.
I think this is what heaven looks like. The idea that people of all gender expressions, all
Yes.
sexualities, tall, short, old, young, like the idea that we are that people think of us as the gay church. Well, we got a mother's board, we got a choir just like everybody else. The choir used to
Yes.
march in. Bishop done walk down the aisle on a horse and a motorcycle, and he had a casket once. The idea that all these things happen and we still get to feel God. I don't think anything that this has got to be what heaven looks like. It's got to
Absolutely.
be.
Absolutely.
And so what are you hopeful for with the future of Vision?
Is that more people will understand our vision, building that bridge.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm looking for.
What do you think that vision is that you hope that people would understand?
Openness and more and above.
More and above.
Yes.
It's funny because Pastor Ware, he stumbles over it half the Sundays, but I'm standing under open heaven, walking through open doors.
Oh, okay.
We say that every single Sunday, even though he look over to Pastor Rue and be like, "What's the word?" But needless to say, what do you think? What do you hope for the future of Vision Cathedral of Atlanta, Pastor?
That we can remain consistent, that we
that's
remain
good.
a place that people can continue to come and be loved, get loved on, be received, no matter where anyone is in their station in life.
Interesting. It's interesting. You don't become, the largest of anything or the most prominent of anything by happenstance. There's got to be, some work mixed with some Jesus and, and some prayer, I would imagine. And so from you are also part of the leadership team. You are a minister at Vision, Shanika.
Yes.
Like the flip side of that, as a newer leader, what do you think the secret sauce is?
Elevation demands change.
Yeah.
And for elevation, you got to change. And I was, as a leader, before I became a leader, I was wanting change. So I think that's the
Change for
sauce.
yourself or change for the church? Like, what do you mean by that?
Change overall. To elevate, you got to change some kind of way. I believe people are wanting change. So far as elevation, you have to be willing to change.
Got it. That's beautiful. And so as laity, as congregation for us, what do you wish people who didn't go to Vision knew about what happens at church every Sunday?
God beats you there. When I walked through the door, it was very much a comfort zone immediately because I found somewhere that was created for me without even knowing me.
Did you know that you were coming to grow up when you came, or were you just coming and you learned to grow up?
I was coming to grow up.
Okay.
Well, I moved to Atlanta by myself with only knowing a couple people from Chicago that lived here. So when I came here, I didn't come here seeking, the validation or the friendship. I came here seeking my next. And unfortunately, within the first 3 months of being here, my next went left to me. So I thought it looked like it went left to me because my best friend died, I prepared to rib. So a lot of things happened that made me feel like things went left. Then all of a sudden I met Vision and things went right. You know
That's
what I mean?
good.
And it happened like that. Vaughn invited me. Vaughn Everett. Hey Vaughn. Vaughn invited me at his birthday.
Okay.
His birthday party in 2021. And it took me to October, just a week after my best friend of 21 years died. So when I came, I was coming to grow up.
I think we all are pretty self-aware to know that a lot of people come to Vision thinking they're gonna find a mess, they're gonna find a tea, they're gonna see all the people from Saturday night wherever, and you do, you can find people from Saturday night.
You do.
What I love about Vision is that it's a normal church. Regardless of what people say about it, it's a normal. The
like
choir still sing songs, the praise team still do the
Absolutely.
things. Folk gonna come and hug on you and love on you. The pastor gonna preach. He may come preach on a horse or a motorcycle, but he's still gonna preach. And then you
many
go
things.
home sweaty,
Mm-hmm.
or to brunch or wherever you go, right?
But you leave different.
But you absolutely leave different.
You leave different. I've been ever since I walked through those doors. Every time I leave out, I leave different.
Diamond, what do you think is the difference that you've like? When did you know that something was different about Vision versus any of the other amazing churches that exist here in Atlanta? When did you know for yourself?
So let's be clear. I moved here in November of 2007. I joined Vision December of 2007. I've not been to any other church. outside of Vision Church.
Really?
No.
Mhm.
When I got to the church, I came to visit the church on a joke. Like I was in Milwaukee. It was like, oh,
I know a lot of
you
people that say
gotta,
that.
you ain't
You
got this
gotta
gay
go to
church
Vision.
down in
They
Atlanta.
got
You
that-
gotta go.
You go
He
down
got
to
a
the
pastor
Visions.
and all that stuff, and he got
With
a
a S.
husband, and yes, you got to go to the
With a
Visions, and it's a
S.
joke.
With a S.
It really is a joke because people are not comfortable with themselves. And because they're not comfortable with themselves, the very thing that they need becomes a joke. But I went to Vision one Sunday, literally one Sunday, and I have been going ever since. It is a church that once you walk in the door, your life will be forever changed.
Yes.
Anybody, whether you gay, whether you straight, whether you trans,
I like that
whether-
part too.
whatever, it is a place of freedom. You're welcome to be your full self in the space without pretending to be someone else that you're not. Because once you connect to yourself in a spiritual manner, there's no other way to be connected.
Because if you don't understand the meaning of a word, how can you do it?
Oh.
That was really good.
Yeah, if you can't understand the meaning of a word, how
And
can
you
you
know,
do it?
and OC Allen will give you a whole lot of words in
Ooh,
Vision.
I love
and
it.
he'll put them up on the screen and say, read it. It's in English.
Because there's so many lost souls out there that look at this type of affirming church as a joke, as we've said. But it's not until you walk through the doors. It's not until you meet people like me. Not until you meet people like it's not until you meet these people that genuinely say, that's God.
I've seen our church grow from every space.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about 17 years in the ministries from dry seasons to rain seasons to every season, and I feel like this is one of the best seasons that we've been in our life lineage right now. 19 years old is still young.
Still young.
So we still got a
We
lot
can't
of
drink
growing
yet.
to go.
Still
We
young.
can't drink just
Oh,
yet.
But the communion.
We still got
can't
grape.
drink
We
just
still got
yet.
grape juice.
I'm Elder Evangelist Diamond, and I love my church.
My name is Miss Kaylee Too Funny, and I love my church.
I'm Jay the Gentleman, and I love my church.
Hey, everybody, I'm Minister Shanika, and I love my church.